This is the Sports Timeout Podcast with Jordan Atkins, Dr. DePoe, and your host, Wes.
It's that time again, everyone. Welcome to the Sports Timeout Podcast, brought to you by Blondie's Woodfire Wheelhouse Food Truck and Crackin' Cajun Seafood House in Joplin. Find them on Facebook. Just search for Blondie's Woodfire Wheelhouse if you're in the mood for some pizza, or Crackin' Cajun if you want some seafood. And that's Tony joining myself, Wes Underwood, again. And, well, how are you? Welcome back.
I'm doing good, man. How are you doing?
Good. And you know who's not doing good after that fight last week? Fury, or Wilder, actually. Wilder.
Yeah.
How about that fight?
Man, it was a very, very fun fight to watch.
Yeah.
I know you got to catch it as well. So, I mean, there was a total of 5 knockdowns the whole fight. 3 in favor for Fury, 2 in favor for Wilder. Man, both of those guys have heart.
Yeah.
And, very impressed.
11 rounds.
Yeah, we won 11 rounds for, 200 plus pounds. That's a lot of weight to have to move for 11 rounds. Man, it was a great fight. It was a great night. I mean, I didn't really have a favorite. I think the guy who should have won.
Yeah. We both called that last week, too.
Yeah.
For the record.
We did. For the record, we were right. But Wilder just has so much heart. He has such a powerful right hand that you really can't count him out no matter who he's fighting. The Fury at the end of the fight said that, he says that Wilder is the second best heavyweight in the division. I would argue with that, but, Wilder is, he's one punch away from winning a fight at all times.
Yeah. Yeah, true that. And on that note, we're going to go ahead and move over to the MLB. A lot of people fighting against this team, saying they've got some wiring issues going on themselves and wiretapping something. I don't know, banging on trash cans. Astros is who I'm talking about here. They advance to the ALCS. They will take on Boston, who I called to advance from the get-go. Boston is one of my favorite teams next to the Royals. I always liked to watch David Ortiz as a kid. Manny Ramirez. I mean, the list goes on. Boston is just one of those teams that you either hate them or you love them, and I'm one of the ones who loves them. But, then you go back to the Astros and you think that they're sending signals and cheating again. I don't know. It was pretty suspicious seeing the wire and maybe a microphone in the coach's shirt there, but I don't know. What are your thoughts here?
Since I'm such a big baseball guy, I didn't get to see it, but it wouldn't surprise me though, simply because I know they got caught cheating 2 or 3 years ago. But maybe it's just the fact that people are kind of on edge whenever that team comes to play. And, who knows?
Well, they're on edge whenever they go play everybody. They're out there to prove themselves. I mean, congratulations to them. I do think they did it cleanly, but, if they investigate it and they find something, prove me wrong. But I'm a decent fan of the Houston Astros here. And then you got the Dodgers and the Giants. Dodgers win. They will advance to take on Atlanta. I called these 3 teams in the original part of this, and, I like them to be where they're at. This is going to be a fun series to watch in the NL. I'm very excited about it. Yeah, Atlanta doesn't have big boy down there right now. Acuna Jr., they don't have him right now. Went down early on in the season, got hurt. But I'm just excited to watch this series, aren't you?
Yeah, of course.
And next up in the MLB, talking NL teams, continuing there, Cardinals coach Schilt out as the coach. Now, my thoughts here, I said it a couple weeks ago, they didn't have the gumption. He looked sloppy at times at coaching. I guess maybe ownership saw that too. They had some disagreements, and out the door went Schilt, and I'm okay with that. Cardinals are my third team because I'm a Royals, Red Sox, and Cardinals fan because I love Missouri and I love Missouri teams. And the Cardinals needed to get rid of him. I thought that was a great idea. I'm fully on board with this. You?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. All right. Short and simple and sweet. Love it. Next up, we head into the NBA. Season begins next Tuesday. It will open up with the Warriors and the Lakers, followed by the Nets and the Bucks. Bucks defending champions. Nets trying to get back on track. That should be fun to watch. And then Lakers-Warriors should be fun too. I mean, we do get to see Klay Thompson and Steph Curry back together along with Draymond Green. You know, the trio back together again. I can't wait to see that. The Splash Brothers getting back together, I love it. But in the NBA, who's your early season NBA champion? Way early season NBA champion. Who you got?
Just based off of discipline, I think I'm going to go with the Warriors.
Okay.
But if it was based off talent alone, I'd go with the Lakers.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and mention my Chicago Bulls. Maybe not winning the championship, but I see them with a deep postseason run. They could make it to the NBA Finals. I could see it. If they stay healthy, I'd love the Chicago Bulls this year. But I would also like to see Klay and Steph and Draymond back in there. So I'm going to go Warriors right now. But, again, too, I became a Giannis fan last year. He looked pretty good with the Bucks. We'll see how they look in the opener.
Well, and also gotta keep in mind that they had a very, very short season last year. That might have favored teams that usually don't make it as far, like the Bucks. That's just my opinion.
Okay.
Somebody that is going to be missing is Kyrie Irving, though. Did you see that?
Did a little bit. Refresh my memory here.
Well, he's refusing to get the vaccine.
Okay. Yep.
Due to personal choice, and
I think we'll see that from a lot of players.
And I 100% respect it, but it's unfortunate.
Yeah. That
we have to miss one of the better players, if not one of the better players in the NBA. Simply because he refuses to get the vaccine. But I 100% support him.
Okay.
And I wish him the best of luck.
As do I. And next up, we'll head to the NFL. We talk Joe Burrow. We all saw his hit last week. Dude took a big hit and came out with a throat abrasion or laceration, something along those lines, some fancy word there. But he's been put on rest, and he's not allowed to talk. That is the most interesting thing on the injury report I've honestly ever seen in my life. He can't talk? And he has to sit out and not talk?
Poor guy.
How is he going to call a game on Sunday?
Well, he's not going to. He's just going to be chilling.
Is he sitting out?
Well, if he's out,
as far as I know, he's just sitting out the week. But maybe back on Sunday.
Oh, okay. Well, if that's the case, I mean, obviously there's some sort of neck injury or whatever. They're trying to get him to recover as fast as possible. I'm sure he can talk, but
no, he's down to absolutely no talking from what I read. They said absolutely nothing.
Well, I'm sure that's what the doctor said. I'm just saying, I'm sure he can talk. He's not supposed to talk. He's probably not talking just so he doesn't make his injury worse.
Weirdest injury, though.
Yeah, it is.
How does that even happen? His neck got, he looked like he broke his neck there. But how he came down on it, not as bad as in college football. Oh, I don't remember what team it was. I think Texas, maybe. They had the guy face plant into the ground and his whole body just shifted.
Ooh.
That was hard to watch. But Joe Burrow's, I don't think, was as bad as that. But I don't know. Weird injury.
Yeah, well, kind of going back to boxing a little bit. I don't know if you ever listened to Tyson Fury talk, but he has a really raspy voice.
Okay.
It's because he got punched in the mouth. Not in the mouth. Got punched right in the throat early on whenever he was a journeyman in his boxing career.
Yeah.
And because there's clips of him whenever he was younger, before he got punched in the throat. There's no raspiness at all. But after that injury, obviously the doctor didn't tell him to not to talk.
I guess he shouldn't have been talking. Okay.
And now that's why he has a really raspy voice.
Wow. Interesting. I wonder if that explains Mike Tyson's lisp, getting punched in the mouth a lot.
That's probably more to the head. But
anyway, continuing in the NFL, Washington football team will retire Sean Taylor's number. Former football team member for the Washington football team who was tragically killed in his home in an invasion burglary type thing and just pretty much executed on his couch while he was sitting there. So fitting that they do that for him. I'm fully on board with that. Tragic situation. I remember watching that growing up.
Yeah, I actually watched a documentary a few years ago about it. I guess he fought back and they shot him in the leg, but he bled out, so he was actually conscious for the most part.
That's tough.
Yeah, no, it's a terrible situation. But I think it's great that they're retiring his number.
Yeah.
I think it's
much deserved.
I feel like they should have done it a little bit sooner, but better late than never.
Yeah. Next up, we switch over to the NCAA football. Battle of the Unbeatens this week. Number 11, Kentucky, taking on number 1, Georgia. It's good to see Alabama out of the top. Can I voice that? Can I say that now?
Are they out of the top 10?
Yeah.
I thought they were number 5 now.
Alabama is out of the top 10 at the moment in the coaches poll, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Alabama, so number 5. Okay. Out of the top 4, though.
Yes.
So out of the top 4. Maybe I should research that a little bit more. I could have sworn it said top 10, but...
Well, I happen to see it.
They do need to be out of the top 10. There are plenty of good teams out there now. And Alabama, it's due time for them to be out.
Yeah, well, they've been pretty good the rest of the season. Obviously, Texas A&M showed up to play, and
but Ole Miss looks good.
They do.
Oklahoma, I think they're rightfully the 4.
I think in Arkansas, man,
Arkansas should be in the top 10 at least. They're at 17.
Yeah,
they're at 17. Man, I don't know.
Well, and I think we can, whenever Arkansas plays Alabama, I think we'll be able to tell.
Yeah. We'll see what they're truly made of, yeah.
Yeah. Georgia,
Georgia, full on 100% believe they're number 1.
Well, yeah, I think the most dominant right now.
Yeah, I do.
Kentucky.
Iowa looks good. Kentucky, yeah.
Yeah.
Kentucky should definitely be ahead of Alabama, I think.
Really?
Yeah. They look good.
What about Cincinnati? I haven't. I've yet to watch them. I've yet to watch it, but they're in the top
5-0, number 3. 5-0, number 3. They look good too.
Do they? Yeah, man. I don't know. I think
Kentucky's pretty solid. Oklahoma State, they're 5-0. I mean, they look decent.
Yeah.
They've played Missouri State and Tulsa, yeah, but BSU, Kansas State, they were top 25. Baylor, they were top 25. Well, they beat them 2 in a row.
And they play Texas this week, don't they?
They do have Texas this week.
So, I guess if they do a pretty good number on Texas, then
if they dominate Texas, I think they'll be further up there.
Yeah,
I do.
Hey, can we go back to the NFL real quick?
Go for it.
Man, your Chiefs.
Yeah.
Man, they're struggling a little bit, huh?
What are you talking about? We got an extra game, so they got an extra game to lose, right?
Yeah, sure.
I do think they'll get back on track against Washington football team this week.
Yeah, I think the next few games are going to be good confidence builders, and
they're reflecting now. By the way,
what do you mean?
They're in self-reflection according to the team. So.
Well, that's what they need. I'm obviously, man. It's getting to the, I like to talk trash on the Chiefs, but getting sad. You know what I mean? I can't really talk bad about the Chiefs now. I kind of feel bad for them.
How about Patrick Mahomes' college coach Cliff Kingsbury with the Cardinals undefeated 5-0?
Oh yeah,
they look good.
Yeah, they do. They look very good. Who else? ESPN came out with some power rankings this last week. They had the Cardinals. I think they had them as number 2.
Yeah.
I think they had the Bills number 1. I mean, the Bills
rightfully so.
I think the Bills look really good.
Yeah.
They're really dominant.
Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes are pretty comparable.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I think when it comes to potential, I think they played totally different games.
Yeah.
But they're both very good.
No doubt. Josh Allen, I think Josh Allen is more agile and can run the ball a lot better than Mahomes. Mahomes is fast, but Josh Allen, when he's running, he's really good at making people miss.
Really?
Mahomes does the duck and dive or lean out. Josh Allen can juke you.
Really? I guess I don't pay much attention to Josh Allen, but I know that they're both very good in the way that they play football. Herbert's
looking good. Despite the record, he's Patrick Mahomes' kryptonite.
Well, and then another one. The Browns lost this last weekend. Who they lose to?
Browns lost to.
Well, the point is, the Browns played a perfect offensive game.
They did,
like literally perfect. Like they're the first team.
Their defense struggled though.
Yeah, but their offense played the perfect offensive game. And I saw a thing where it said that that's the first team to ever play a perfect offensive game and lose.
Yeah.
High scoring game. neither one of their defenses are obviously very good.
Justin Herbert.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I thought, but I wasn't sure.
42-47. That game was very... I did think that the Chargers were going to lose that game, too. Herbert proved me wrong. Chubb, 161 yards in that one. Mike Williams, 165 yards. Herbert balled it.
Yeah.
He did great.
Did you also see the stat where they said that Derrick Henry... Derrick Henry's almost doubled everybody else's rushing yards.
He has, but where are they at? As a whole team,
yeah.
Where are they at? Henry used to be that guy that sucked, and now he's the guy that's overproducing and everybody else sucks.
Yeah.
So it's either Vrabel or the team just can't get it together.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's weird. I've never seen something like that. Well, I guess I have. Chiefs and Jamal Charles.
Yeah.
Back in the day. I guess I've seen it. Adrian Peterson and the Vikings. Okay. So I can't say that. But I have... It's different for this day and age, that's for sure. We now head into the 2-minute warning, and it will be brought to you by 4th Street Bowl in Joplin. Go see Will and his crew. Check out the upgrades as well at the bowling alley. Looks pretty good there. Smoke-free now, so should be a little bit more easy to breathe in there. But we'll talk Friday Night Lights and local matchups here. First up, we have 6-1 Joplin heading to 3-4 Branson, who blew out Willard last week 31-7, and we all know what happened to Joplin at home versus Carthage. And, we'll see if the Pirates can knock off Joplin, but I do believe the Eagles should prevail here.
I'm going to go out on a very strong limb and say yes.
Okay, and 4-3 Webb City will return home tonight to take on 2-5 Ozark. If Webb doesn't win this one, there's going to be some big questions up in the air here, huh?
Yeah, I would say, but I feel confident that Coach Rod and the squad can get it down.
Yeah, I got him winning this one as well. 7-0 Carthage will play host to 4-3 Republic. Republic, not terrible. I mean, Webb and Joplin fans hope that Carthage loses this game, as well as Ncaa fans too, but I call Carthage at home here. I don't see them losing.
Yeah.
Unless something traumatic happens.
Yeah, they can be competitive. It's just really hard to stop Carthage's, running game right now.
Yeah.
They have a really good running back.
Three-headed monster.
Yeah.
It's weird. It hasn't been seen in this area in a long time, and they're coming on with it.
Yeah.
3-4 Carl Junction play host to Ncaa, who is 6-1. And Joplin hoping for an improbable win here from Carl Junction. I want to say Carl Junction, who held Carthage to 28 points back in week 2. One of the few teams to hold them under 30-something, 35 or so, somewhere around there. I want to call Carl Junction with the late season upset here over Ncaa.
Yeah, I mean, Carl's always had a competitive team, but, I don't know. The mentality at Ncaa, I feel like, is a lot different this year. And
it is.
And even last year, there was a really close game with Webb. So I base everything off of how Webb did with him. But I'm going to go with Ncaa on this one.
Okay. All right. And then next up we have 0-7 Neosho. They'll return home to play 0-7 Willard.
The toilet bowl.
Neosho wins it here senior night. I call it now. I call it now. Senior night, Neosho wins.
Yeah. I've been every single game that Neosho plays, I've been saying Neosho's going to win it. And tonight, it's going to come true.
Tonight's the night. You're going to party down in Neosho tonight, guys. I can feel it. Going into Maple Leaf.
Mountain Dew and Doritos.
Yeah. We are also down to one more week until football playoff week. And after tonight's games in Class 6, District 3 for Joplin is tied with Ncaa and Lee Summit North. How Ncaa is on top of this, I don't know. Joplin beat them. I feel like they're getting snubbed here. You mentioned something, Tony, about coming down to the last week. I mean, yeah, Ncaa has a couple more games, but I do believe that they're going to put, because they're up by 2 points.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how that works. My theory is just the fact that they probably just laid out all the teams
Yeah.
On the bracket. That's who is going to be in the bracket.
Mm-hmm.
But I've yet to actually place them in there in the order that they're supposed to play.
Well, Joplin's a 3 seed right now. Hopefully that improves. And then over to Webb City side, Carthage, Webb City, Republic, Willard, Neosho, Parkview. Now, this bracket is just a terrible bracket at the bottom. 3-0-7 teams. I fully believe Neosho, Willard, and Parkview are just going to get eliminated. Now, Republic can make it fun. Webb City could definitely make it interesting. We all know that. They do things in the playoffs that are unthinkable. And then Carthage 7-0. Everybody expecting Carthage to win and go to state. We'll see what Webb City has to say here in that district. So we'll keep our eyes on this in the next couple of weeks and see what story unfolds.
Yeah, I mean, one thing is for sure is you can't ever count Webb City out.
No.
They played very, very competitive teams. Very, very competitive games against Joplin and Ncaa. Both of them, I think that they should have won.
Yeah.
Making a few minor mistakes here and there. And Carthage was, obviously a little bit more dominant.
Yeah.
But I can see Webb City coming up with some sort of tactic, something, or the kids just, having a little bit more.
Deflate gate.
Yeah, the deflate gate. I think, just coming together and playing as a team, and I can see them beating Carthage.
Yeah, I do too. I fully do. I do. And, we'll finish out with the local sports update brought to you by Jefferson's. Come join Billy and his crew for happy hour from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. And with high school football out of the way yet again, next up we'll have local college sports. MSSU football, coming off win number 2 on the season, will take Central Missouri on at home tomorrow at Fred G. Hughes Stadium. 4 o'clock start time there. Make sure you wear pink in this game, and in honor of breast cancer awareness, Pitt State will play host to Lincoln for homecoming at Pitt State, and game time is set for 1 p.m. kickoff there, so all these games being set around the Maple Leaf Parade tomorrow as well. Then MSSU softball will be heading to Columbia, Missouri to take on Mizzou. Games there are set for 2:30 and 5 p.m. That's all I got for now. Any fights, Tony, or in the clear this week?
Well, there's always fights every weekend, but I not any that I'm personally interested in, but there's always a UFC fight, and there's I know that here in a few weeks, I got my brother's friend Jacob Fry is fighting.
Okay.
He's always trained with my brother, and they push each other, and they're gonna be. He has an MMA fight coming up, so
okay,
that'll be interesting.
Awesome.
And, he's 1-0. Believe he won by TKO, I believe he won by a TKO his first fight. In this next fight, we're going for a knockout.
All right, sweet. Sounds great. And of course, all these games and events are pending to weather and their current and fluid COVID-19 situation. Well, the music is here, and so is the end of another episode. For Tony and myself, have a great and safe weekend. Enjoy lots of football. Stay warm and dry if you can. If there's some rain in the forecast, I believe. And if you go to Maple Leaf tomorrow, have fun. And again, stay safe. See y'all next week.
See you guys.